and I'm gonna start recording these sessions as well, just for those people who are interested in watching it outside of here. So the one thing, guys, I was able to pick up on Loyola, and this is just something to think about against when you're playing against any team, and that is seeing if you can pick up on their hand signals. Sometimes that technique can be maybe considered like, I wouldn't say cheating, but I've definitely heard people call it that. It's not cheating by any means. If a team is being blatant with their hand signals, like Loyola is doing right now, Ben, I know it's not completely smooth for you, and JJ, I don't know if it is for you either, but they're doing this with their hands. If you could see me, if you're watching me, the members of the secondary and some of their linebackers are making this hand signal. And what I believe it is it's a hand signal to determine that their defense is in more of a too high look and potentially like a cover two look. We'll continue to watch for this later on in the game and see if that is the case. But earlier on in the game, they make that, you can see that signal right there from number 30. It's pretty blatant. Number 33 as well. To me, this is a signal of adjusting coverage. So guys, going into what's up, Jake? Can you hear me okay? Hope so.
Yeah.
Yep. So going into what we always ask ourselves first, are we protected? This is the next play. Are we protected?
I haven't counted, but based on how many people are in the defensive box or just the box, it looks more than our offense, the amount of offensive linemen we
Yes,
have.
we have 7 guys in the box, right? They have 7 guys in the box, and we have 5 guys on our line of scrimmage, 1 running back. So we have 6 against their 7 that could potentially blitz. Now, what I see right here is that they are very likely coming, right? And here is why. Number one, both corners are pressed. In addition, we have 2 guys walk down to the edge of the line of scrimmage, and our number 3 receiver is being covered by a linebacker, right? That maybe originally would be in the box or a little bit closer to play the run. And because you're seeing all these defenders walk down and these 2 extra defenders on the ends of the line of scrimmage, these are all indicators that this defense is going to be blitzing. And the other indicator is when we pay attention to this matchup here, or these matchups here, I should say, when you see corners that are pressed up, if they don't have any over the top help, meaning you see this safety here inside and he's underneath, he's not really very deep. He's only 7 yards off the ball. The ball is on the 40-yard line, guys. And he's only about 7 yards off the ball. That is very, very shallow, right? And so since he is the safety on this field side one-on-one matchup, that tells me that you definitely have a one-on-one look there and that he's not going to help over the top. And that's another indicator that you have 3-on-3 to the field side. Like, these are all things that are telling you that they're going to be playing more of a man-to-man look on that side of the field, and that they're going to be bringing that pressure and playing like some sort of cover one man blitz defense. Quarterbacking and seeing coverages and figuring out pre-snap analysis has a lot to do with going across the board, being very, very patient with looking at each player's leverage, positioning, eyes, depth, so that you can kind of go through your checklist of what's going on. So again, we'll go through our checklist. Number one thing we're asking ourselves, are we protected? JJ, did you count yet? Ben,
Yes.
are we protected, Ben?
Yes.
We are protected. Jake, what are you seeing with the members of the secondary and the defender? Well, I'll ask this next question. Sorry, I gotta be more disciplined with the thought process with you guys, because I think it'll help you young guys, stay true to this. It'll really help you just kind of progress. So your next thing after the lineman and whether or not you're protected is you go to your safeties. How many safeties are there? How many safeties?
One.
How many high safeties are there right now?
One.
There's one high safety. Okay, so now in terms of coverage, what two coverages come to mind when there's one high safety?
Cover 1.
Or
Cover 3.
or cover 3, right? So now you're going over, Jake, you're going over to the corners. How are the corners playing right now?
They look like
pressing.
they're playing man.
They look like they're playing man, but Jake, I want you to answer the question. How are they
Just
like?
like-
What's their positioning? What would you call that positioning?
Press.
They're playing press. They're playing press man. And then when you go to the rest of the defense, what about the two defenders over my number 2 and number 3? Who are they looking at?
The QB.
I think
Or
this.
no, they're the
I think-
receivers.
Yeah, I think the especially the defender on the hash is looking at the receiver, and then also just because, does he have any over the top help?
Yeah.
Is there anyone over the top of him right now that could help him in case? Is there
Oh,
a
wait, no.
No, there's not, right? He's right here. This is the next defender, right? He's pretty underneath. And so what that's telling me is that he's definitely going to bail, and he's definitely going to be in man-to-man. Like, there is no disguising here. Okay. When I go and come inside and move on from my defensive backs and go to the safety, well, the safety is a defensive back, but and my linebacker, I'm seeing a 3-on-3 matchup here. This looks like cover 1 to me. And the play I have here is twist. So this is an automatic rollout with, hold on, let me select this. With a go, an out, and a drag. It's an automatic sprint out. Automatic. So in man-to-man, I'm thinking here, I can either, if I really like this go ball matchup, hey, maybe this is an option. I'm really just going to my best matchup here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the receiver looks taller.
I'm sorry, it's switched. It goes like this. Here, and then he goes. My bad. So he goes to the outside receiver. And it's underthrown. I think that, that's a really, really tough throw to throw from the opposite hash. I think you can take a little bit more time here and try to put this ball towards the back of the end zone. We're on the 20-yard line. And do you guys know when go balls are usually completed? At least at this level, at the varsity level, at the varsity high school level, when are go balls usually completed?
I feel like on the opposite 20-yard line.
I'm sorry, I should rephrase that question. At what depth? How far down the field? How many yards? Anyone know? Anyone want to take a guess?
40 yards.
40 yards. Close.
30.
30 yards. 30 yards. The average go ball is completed about 30 yards down the field at the high school, and I would say college level as well. So it's not as deep as you think. And since the ball is on the 20-yard line here, the back corner of the end zone is 30 yards. And I think that it's a great spot to think about putting the ball, especially because you're in the high red zone. You're in the high red zone, so you've really reached your limit in terms of like completing the go ball on traditional 3-step with a hitch timing and from the gun. And so I think it's just thrown a little bit too quickly here, and then we do miss underneath. Obviously, I'm sitting here stating the obvious. I don't think it's a bad decision. We have a one-on-one matchup. He ends up getting even with him. The receiver looks way too early. So ball is on the 20, and he is currently looking back at the quarterback, and he is 4 yards down the field. So the responsibility of the go route, he needs to really get on his horse and keep his eyes down the field and keep winning with speed. He can't be looking back so early. The flat route is open right now. And so, in terms of progression, in man-to-man, like I said, you can really just choose your best matchup. There's not a right or wrong decision in this situation. We just miss, so maybe it looks like it's the wrong decision, or seems like it's the wrong decision. The safe throw is working, or the safe concept is working the high-low of the flat route and the out, and we would progress through that as feeling very confident that this corner is going to bail, because we see that this safety is playing down. He's not going to be playing over the top of that corner. We see these man-to-man matchups, so it gives us confidence that he's bailing and getting out of where the out is going to end up. He goes and bails. So now if we wanted to throw this out here, we should have that confidence that this corner is bailing and it will be there. The out isn't ran very well, in my opinion. He doesn't really explode out of his break. And the flat, do you guys see when he's looking and expecting the ball? You guys see that?
Yeah.
I know it's not the most Jake, is it smooth for you at least? I would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the flat route, he looks literally 2 steps into his route. And I want to ask this question. I'm really hoping someone has the answer for me, because it's a answer I think you guys know. Where is the flat zone to the left side of the field? Number 1 or number 2?
1.
Number 1.
1.
So what route is this player here, where I'm drawing the dot over, running? I just said it earlier.
The 2.
He's what route is this receiver running? What type of route? A flat, right?
A flat.
He's running a flat. So where does he need to get to before he should be expecting the ball?
Point 1.
Point 1, right? He needs to be getting to number 1. Okay, so this is a big problem, that this receiver is looking so early. He's not in the flat zone. He's not threatening the flat. He's not doing his job. It's allowing this defender to close the gap on him as well. These are little things, guys, that are super important. Receivers need to understand what zones they're attacking in certain concepts. And if they have a flat route, they need to attack the flat. They need to get to the flat. So here, guys, number 1 question I ask myself, Jake, what's that question?
Are we protected?
Are we?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you seeing across the board in terms of coverage? How many safeties?
1.
Okay. What about the corners?
There's 3 corners. Or sorry, 2 corners.
Okay. And they're both over who?
Receivers.
Don't say, do not. Hey, JJ, I'm going to ask you a question here soon, but I want these answers from Jake. I want to make sure that I'm getting these answers from Jake. I will ask you a question though soon, and I want to hear answers from you as well. Please continue, Jake.
The corners are over the receivers.
Okay, which receivers? What number? What number receivers?
1 and 2.
So both outside receivers, those are both considered number 1 receivers. And then as you go in from there, it goes 2, 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So both corners are over which receivers?
1 and 2. Or 2 and 3.
The defensive backs. Who are the DBs here? Him and him. So these are my two defensive backs that are in the game over my 2 number 1 receivers. Now, this player and this player, were you considering them defensive backs or corners?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in thinking that. Now, technically, this is a safety, and this is a nickel or a linebacker. But nickels act as defensive backs and linebackers. They're kind of like a hybrid position. So just in terms of like where the traditional corners are, these are the 2 corners. There's 2 corners on the field. Does that make sense, Jake?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions on what I just talked about? Or did anything, would you like me to repeat any of that?
No, good.
Okay. So to me, it's a 1 high look. It looks a lot like a cover 1 again. The corner to the boundary has no help over the top, so I should feel confident that I have a one-on-one matchup there. There's 6 people in the box, and we're running 51 diva, which is a dive play, automatic run. So based on numbers here, you guys, it's 6 on 5 because the quarterback is not a run threat on a dive play. So is this a good look? Yes or no? If we're looking at it from a numbers perspective. I'm having trouble hearing people, guys, because I think this should be a really, really quick answer. And sometimes I ask these. Yes, this is not a good look. Yes, this is not a good look. If that's your answer, JJ. It's 6 on 5, guys. Right? So this is not necessarily a good run look. We're outnumbered. Now, the backers do not fill very well, so I feel like the offense gets a decent gain from that. Whoa. But in terms of numbers, not a good look. 6 on 5. We're outnumbered. We're outnumbered. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're outnumbered. Vegas. Remind me what Vegas is. Corner. Yeah. So we've got Vegas. This is a smash concept. Smash concept. Ben, can you explain to the group what you think a smash concept is, or what you see a smash concept as?
Is a smash concept where you have a deep ball, a deeper ball, and then a smaller route, and you decide does it depend on whether you're reading one guy to see if he either drops or comes forward on where you're throwing the ball? Depends where you're reading.
Really, really great start to that. You're saying all the right things, but I think the next time I ask this question, I would like to hear just a few more specifics on what part of the field or what kind of route is being ran deep, and then what kind of route is being ran short, in addition to who we are reading that is either dropping deep or coming down low. Okay, so make sure you write this down on this time, because smash is a universal concept, guys. And would anyone like to maybe elaborate on what Ben just said? Because what you said, Ben, is correct. It's just a little bit vague in terms of like positions and then what kind of route, like I said, is being ran deep and short. So in this situation, you guys kind of have the answers here in front of you based on my drawing. So can we maybe figure out what route is being ran deep and what route is being ran short?
The deep route is being ran by the receiver closest to the lineman.
And what number receiver is that, JJ? We just talked about that with Jake.
I would say 3.
That is the number 3 receiver. I would say you are absolutely right. So the deep route is being ran by the number 3 receiver. And what route is that?
It looks like a corner.
It is a corner route. And so the deep route on smash, guys, is always 100% of the time some form of a corner route, a corner route. So on the right side of the field to the boundary, this corner route being ran, sorry, it's not as sharp as I'd like it to be, but we're running more of like a C corner or a banana corner. So it's still a corner because, and then the other route that is ran in a smash concept is a certain type of threat that we, or a certain, it's a route that threatens a certain zone on the field. And there's a lot of different routes that can threaten this zone. What zone is that, guys?
The flat?
The flat zone. So the other route that is being ran, the short route, is the route that is going to attack the flat. And so on the field side, that route is being ran by our number 1 receiver running this little 5-yard in. He is still in the flat zone by being here. And he's not going to be super aggressive inside, although it is man-to-man. So since we're anticipating him following us, we don't necessarily need to stay here. Because here, Ben, I think they run this wrong, to be honest with you. Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, earlier. Why did you call it a banana corner?
So it's called a banana corner because they kind of they're making kind of the shape of a banana.
Okay.
So it's like, it's like a banana.
Oh, it's that weird route. Oh.
It's like a banana. See it? It's just curved. It's just curved like a banana. That's why it's called a banana. It's a banana corner. So here, guys, if we see to the left side, we have our man-to-man matchup. We have our man-to-man matchup to the boundary as well. So it's cover 1 across the board, right? We are protected. Ooh, actually. So just kidding. We might not be protected. They've got, wait, sorry, I'm tripping. I am miscounting. Sorry about that. There's 6 people in the box, right? We are protected. Okay, they're in cover 1. The secondary is all looking at our receivers, maybe except for this player here, but both corners are looking at their man. In addition to the safety that's on the hash, he's looking and staring at number 2. So this is you know, I should feel very, very confident that this defense is in cover 1 right now. So here, I think that we're just a little bit too quick with our feet. We kind of take a 3 skip where it's like very, very quick, and a post corner is a long developing route. Despite the fact that we're in the red zone, we're still on the 15-yard line. So this is going to be completed 25 yards down the field if we throw this to the back pylon, which we do here. Just think it's a little bit early. And it doesn't allow us to figure out what kind of ball we really need to throw here. If this is where you feel like your best matchup is, which he wins this matchup. It's just the ball is thrown too early. And I think that in a perfect world, I'd like to see more of a 2 ball here once we've acknowledged that, yes, he's won and that this is a good option. If it's not, look at how open our flat route is. If you feel like he's covered, then you work down to the low of the read, the short route, the flat route is wide open. Both are open in the situation. Just got to have a different ball. I think this will give us a good look. The back view. And sorry, don't mean to yawn. The last thing too is we should not just stare him down the whole time. We got to hold the safety with our eyes, at least the first and second step. We're staring him down the whole time, and if this guy's any good, he's going to read us, and he's going to move over to where we're looking. And he actually ends up almost picking the ball off. So he's immediately going to the field side because that's probably what he's being told to do. Hey, go help out the strong side, work to the 3 receiver side. But as soon as he sees the quarterback staring over to the right the whole time and looking down the throw, he eventually gets over there and makes the decision to start getting over to where the quarterback is looking. Fake smash. Fake smash. Oh, excuse me. Oh, good play. That's a good play. Good scramble drill. So whoops. JJ is back. So here, guys, it's kind of a funky look because let's go to the back view first. It's kind of a funky look because we're in this bunch set. And actually, let me see this from the widest view possible. So it makes it seem like there's almost like there's more people in the box than there really are. But I'm just counting 6 in the box. And the other person I'm paying attention to, though, is this guy slightly outside of the box because of one very, very specific reason. And I'm also paying attention to this guy outside of the box for one, or on the line of scrimmage. He's really on the line of scrimmage for one particular reason. And that those reasons are the same. I'll give that hint. Does anyone know what those reasons are? Or why I need to pay attention to those edge guys?
Because those edge guys might be blitzing since they're looking at the quarterback and not guarding anyone.
Okay, they're not guarding anybody. I like that, JJ. And they're looking at the quarterback. Now, even if they're not guarding anybody pre-snap or being obvious that they're going to guard somebody and they're looking at us, that could mean that they're in zone potentially as well. So it's not a bad answer. I like your thought process, JJ, but it's not the answer I'm looking for. Does anyone else know? I'll give you one hint. It has to do with the safeties.
I was gonna say one of those cover three flat zones that the linebackers have, but now that you said safeties, I'm trying to think of something else.
Where are the safeties lined up?
Shallow.
Who are they both lined up over?
Receivers.
Receivers, they're in man it.
And who else are they both lined up directly over?
Oh, the lineman that's just outside the box.
Those defenders right outside the box. So what does that, why are they doing that? Why are they putting themselves in that position over there behind those defenders?
Is it because one's got the deeper end and the other's got the shallow?
Really, really close in your thought process, but it's no, not quite. Not quite. Why would the safety come up more shallow and come directly over that other defender who might or might not be blitzing?
Could it be a safety blitz?
I am gonna. You are so darn close, Ben. Does anyone else have a an answer for me? Jake? Why do safeties line up behind other defenders, especially more shallow like they are right now?
For like, if the DB gets beat, then the safeties are like there for like extra coverage.
Nope. It's because these guys are going to replace these guys.
I didn't get asked.
Are going to blitz, and these guys are going to make up for it and cover who they can no longer cover now because they've blitzed. Happens on both sides. You see where his eyes go? His eyes are now on the receiver as this guy continues to walk up. He's more stacked. Here's this safety as well. His eyes are now on the receiver as the man that he is stacked over is blitzing. Guys, when safeties stack themselves on top of another defender, that defender that they are stacked on top of is going to blitz. They're coming. So here, I see that guy stacked on top, and I have 6 other guys in the box. Now I have 7. I am not going to be protected here if everyone comes. So I need to make sure I know where my safety outlet is. I think this is a little bit too complicated for you guys to maybe go over in terms of, I can try. So we'll go with protection. Hold on, let me see what time it is really quick. Okay, we have a little bit of time. So protection, there's another guy right here. Let's imagine he comes. Okay, so if we have 7 guys come and look at our left tackle pointing out, hey, check outside, check outside, check outside, check outside. Their guard communicates it as well, but it's not being communicated by the quarterback. We're not on the same page. So we've got, let me go back. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so how are we going to protect this? Well, we've got 3 linemen that are currently covered by defenders. Do you guys see that? This guy, and this guy are 2 tackles and our center. They're both covered by defenders. Now, who's over our 2 guards? 2 X's, right? Our two backers here. They're over our 2 guards. So when you look at it from that perspective, we have this like 5-on-5 matchup with our linemen and the players that are directly in front of them, the 3 defensive linemen and the 2 linebackers in the box. And then we have these 2 rushers that are coming off the edge, and they're 2 linebackers, not him, but that extra linebacker that other safety is stacked over. So our running back has to get one of them. And then who is responsible for the other? Because the running back can only go to one side, right? He can only go left or right. Can't go both ways. So who is responsible for that 7th man? You guys know?
Is the quarterback's responsible for knowing that he's in hot?
The quarterback is responsible for knowing that he is hot. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we are responsible for that player, for that 7th man. Now, the linemen and the running back are also responsible for adjusting if one of their men don't come, right? So if this guy doesn't come and this guy doesn't come, then they need to go and help. They need to go help someone else out. So neither of them come. And this tackle does a great job of working off to this defense, to this edge rusher, and the guard. Let's see if he picks up that now defensive end that right tackle just did such a great job of washing down, meaning he made him go inside. Ooh, almost. Culver City actually does an excellent job of protecting this. There is no reason for us to scramble out of the pocket. Everyone is blocked. Here's your pocket. We're good. It may seem a little chaotic, and it may seem like this guy's coming free, or our running back just picked him up. He went left. We got to trust staying in there. Now, this is a wonderful, wonderful throw, an excellent scramble drill, a great job by the receiver of coming back to the football. But initially, there shouldn't be a reason for us to scramble out of the pocket based on how the defense ends up playing this. Okay. What do you guys see across the board defensively? First off, am I protected?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Yeah.
So Ben said
Yes.
Jeff, JJ, why do you think so?
I changed my answer to yes, but because there's so many people in the box, but there's so many receivers at the probably like I made my own box in my head, and the 2 guys to the side of our final like offensive lineman to that side. Yeah, those 2 guys. No, not those 2. The guy under that part, the end of the circle. Yeah, those 2 guys.
Mhm.
They look like they could potentially be in the box or blitz. And so in my head, I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 6, which
That's who I see as threats.
which is protected.
That's
But
who I see as threats. These 2 guys over my number 2 and my number 3 receivers. Number 2, number 3. Here's my number 1. Here's another number 1. those two guys over number 2 and 3, those guys are definitely going to be responsible for number 2 and number 3 because there's no one else out there and they're so wide. So to me, this looks like they're in a man-to-man defense, one high safety. I have twist special called here, which is a half rollout, and then we're going to throw backside to this corner route.
Oh my God.
Touchdown.
That was a great throw and a great catch.
Here was.
They were definitely on the same page.
Yes, absolutely. What I'd like to see from the quarterback is
Oh, he ran a banana corner.
yeah, somewhat, right? What we'd like to see from the quarterback is a little bit more of a sell on the rollout. We have to allow this play to develop a little bit longer. Try to get more flow from the defense. I know we're really short red zone here, meaning we're very underneath. We're very shallow, right? Close to the red zone, close to the end zone. So it might feel like we need to be faster, but we have time here. We can roll out so that we could really create separation, from this defender coming. I think it just will give us a little bit more space to throw. We don't necessarily need to throw off of our back foot. JJ, you're absolutely right. That was a great throw, great catch. Just trying to create good habits. I think take at least 3 steps before turning around and looking for the throw. Guys, do you guys have any questions from tonight before I let you go?
No thanks.
No.
Oh yeah, can I tell you something funny?
Go ahead.
So the coach's son that plays, apparently when I'm not there on Friday, he's the quarterback. But he doesn't come on Wednesday because he has baseball. So we basically switch each other out without knowing if we're there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so since he's the quarterback, I asked him, well, if you're a quarterback, what's the corner's responsibility in a base cover 2 defense? He's like, huh?
Oh man. So he didn't know as much as you, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
I that is funny. I get that. And that's a good thing that you know that information.
Yeah.
And I would ask you guys to, despite the fact that that is a very, very good thing that we know this, right? That if our teammate does not know that we try our best to be a really, really good leader and a really great teammate and explain to them what the corner's responsibility is and enlighten them and educate them on what that is. It will, despite them being our competition, they are our teammates. And at the end of the day, I think truly the best quarterbacks, eliminate that competitiveness. That's not the right word. They're fearless of being a great teammate. They're fearless of being a great teammate and fearless of not allowing that to, I guess, them explaining that or allowing themselves to let their guard down, and be that good teammate and give them that answer, even though, hey, you're my competition. I think that's a lot of fear. That's a lot of fearlessness there that you show, and it shows how great of a leader and teammate you are. So
Thank you. Also, my coach was talking about my drop. He wanted me to
careful, JJ, careful.
Yeah, he wanted me to like that. And I was confused.
Well, if he wants you to backpedal,
I would say more
then if you need to get going, buddy, you can go. If you want to listen, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to spend this time with JJ for a second.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Okay, hold on, JJ. Okay, so slow down, slow down. Can you please walk through the drop of what your
Want me
coach is
to go
asking you?
and be like that. Like,
So, gotcha. Okay, and does that feel uncomfortable for you?
yeah, a little, felt a little weird.
I would ask, did you ask him if you could just take a regular 3-step drop?
And he said, try this, because he said when he was quarterback, he did that, and it helped him. But in my opinion, he's a lefty. Like, it's kind of different in my eyes. Lefty is different.
What's
than
his
right.
name? You don't know his name?
Oh, his name is Coach Chesset.
Coach what?
Chesset.
Coach Chesson?
Chesset.
Chesset. All right, Chesset. Gotcha. So I would try the drop,
Yeah.
and maybe let's see what it looks like on Friday. Okay. We'll try it out then. Try it out then and see what it looks like. Okay. It'll be easier for me to coach you up on it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, man. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.